Hey, Inspire Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers, it's John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in again today. We've never done what we're doing right now. We've never done this before. I think it's important, though. Today, we had a wonderful guest in our channel, dear friend, amazing astrologer, researcher, author, painter, speaker, teacher, you name it. And we discussed, mainly from an astrological standpoint, but of course, other perspectives as well. We discussed the April 8th solar eclipse. We went in depth and other subjects, connected to all of that. And what I learned later is already during the conversation, sort of a little bit of a scandal has erupted in the live comment section, and that has bled over to the comment section of the live stream, and it just basically turned into a full-blown shitstorm, if you will. And the accusation is that George Lewis plagiarized Jason Breshears from Archaics. He took his speech basically and just presented it as his own on our channel. Now, because this has gotten a little bigger than it should have probably, and because we're so close to the full moon and, tempers are rising, we wanted to bring George H. Lewis, our dear friend, back on to quickly address this and set the record straight. George, thank you so much for joining us again today, my friend.
No, it's a pleasure. And of course, I really should have mentioned Jason, but at the end of the day, I'm gathering from all sources everywhere. I mean, that's kind of, I'm a synthesizer. I don't pretend to own any of this knowledge. In some ways, I hopefully, respectfully represent a newer paradigm where we can share information to get this valuable information out there to help in our ascension process. I mean, that for me is so critical. And of course, Jason shed some interesting light on, as an astrologer, I've been interested in December 14th, 2020 for a long time. As we all know, it's the Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto triple conjunction. That was a major player in December 2020. But of course, Jason brought some very interesting information to the fore, and I shared some of that like I do with many other people. So I'm very grateful to him for that contribution.
And George, I just want to set the record straight. I have not seen Jason's presentation on this. And you have, like you say, your main focus as an astrologer is the astrology of things. That's your background. That's your education. That's what you studied. That's what you study on a continual basis. And then, of course, like everyone else, as a researcher, you go deeper and you see how does this connect to other topics that are connected to this event. So you have, like all of us, you can't escape it if you're on the internet, heard many voices, many things.
Totally.
But George, I know you as a true gentleman. You are a true British gentleman. You are an American now, but you are a true British gentleman. So I know that you would never ever take someone's work and present it as your own.
No.
So, and it is impossible in this day and age to do research and credit everyone for every little thing that you learn. But in this particular case, you said there was one very interesting piece of information that you thought was so eye-opening. Yeah. And you brought that over into the conversation. Can you address that a little bit and how that pertains to Jason Breshears and his great work?
Well, his research was really interesting with it. It identified for me the eclipse of the Southern Hemisphere and how that connected with December 14th, 2020. And he talked about, I think the word was the isometric projection. I mean, I have a slightly photographic memory, so I found that very interesting. And I definitely, that was very relevant because astrologically that's spot on. It was right in the middle. And I think that's what's so interesting. If I can bring the astrology and other people do the research, we can show the greater truth by bringing it all together. I mean, through open source, but of course, I'm mortified if people thought I was plagiarizing. No, I absolutely thank him. And I've watched so many very interesting talks on the eclipse in the last 2 weeks, and that was seminal.
I appreciate that, George, and I'm glad we got the record straight. I want to say something in general, that we are at this pivotal period in our shared human story where knowledge, information, and wisdom is spreading faster and in exponential ways more than ever. And that is at the forefront of our intention of here at Inspired. We want for information and knowledge to reach people as fast as possible, and so it can really have the impact that it needs to have. As a matter of fact, as a songwriter, as an artist, I know all about having something I created stolen. But I will say this, of the videos, of the live streams, of the content that we create, a lot is constantly stolen and spread out there, and I don't lose any minute of sleep over it, because I'm just glad that things are getting out there. So I think we're also opening a new paradigm. That doesn't mean we don't give credit where credit is due, but hey, if it's an oversight, I don't think we need to get all that aggressive. And I want to say something to our audience: we love you, we appreciate you, and I think sometimes it's good to take a step back and say, hey, maybe it was an oversight, maybe it was a mistake, but let's not shoot at each other here, friends. We're all in the same boat. We're all in the same team. We're Team Humanity, Team Awakening. George, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't read all the comments, and I'm obviously sad if people think I have, taken stuff from someone else. That was certainly not my intention at all. But I do feel I'm a synthesizer. I don't pretend to have anything in that sense original. I'm an astrologer looking at data in that sense, with the conjunctions and the correspondences. But beyond that, I'm gathering information from all over, and I've been doing that all my life. I think that's just what it is to be human. And I'll always want to give credit, and that was an oversight not to be able to talk about that. But there are also other people who've influenced me along the way too. And I mean, there are quite a lot of other people who literally I learned from. So it's hard to credit everyone the whole time.
I agree, George, and I learned a lot from you through our conversations, and I'm sure I mentioned a thing here or there and not credited you. So my apologies for that. If I didn't put the name and the credit where it belonged. But I'm sending greetings out to Jason, to our case.
Absolutely, as am I, and great gratitude for his phenomenal research.
To his wonderful audience, to your wonderful audience, to our wonderful audience. Let's just all get along. We're all on the same team here. And George, I encourage everyone to go. We put the link to our original conversation earlier today in the video description. Go check it out. Go check out all of George's work, his own reports that he puts out. And see that, there's a body of knowledge and wisdom and education there that stands on its own 2 feet. And it's very good that it's getting out there, George. Want to thank you for everything you do, my friend.
Thank you so much.
And please, if I'll give you the stage here. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, just I just hope we can all lean into the co-creativity of this new earth that we're birthing, and keep imagining and trusting.
Wonderful. I'm with you. Amen to that, George. George H. Lewis. Everyone go check out georgehLewis.com. Watch our conversation from earlier today. Much love to everybody out there, the Aarons, the Inspire Tribe, and everybody else. We're all one big family. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll be back with you again very, very soon.